I want to bring in Janet Johnson. You are the attorney for Michelle O'Connell's family. So the attorney for the victim's family. Okay, what are the problems as you see it with the gun and the shooting itself? Let's get to that, because I understand that your side claims that if she did shoot herself, the way the forensics add up, she would have had to have had the gun upside down in her mouth, upside down, and you find that hard to believe.
Not just that, it would have been with her left hand. The shooter was apparently left-handed. Everyone agrees on that. The only left-handed person in the house that night was Jeremy Banks. Michelle was right-handed. And, Ben Crump and I represent the family. I live in Florida. I live, maybe 20 minutes from where Michelle lived. From the get-go, to have the police, the employer of Jeremy Banks, investigating whether he did anything wrong, that was just not kosher. That just wasn't right. But the way the gunshot would have had to gone off, she would have had to, upside down with her left hand, shoot herself, and then the gun would have had to come into her, whereas everyone knows that guns actually back up. They don't propel into the person who's being shot.
So are you saying that you believe this is sort of the blue wall of silence, that this evidence incriminates this officer who is still on the beat today, and that there was essentially a cover-up, and that the sheriff's department that paid his paycheck was looking the other way? Is that what you're suggesting? Because that's a very serious allegation.
Well, here's what I'll say is, if your body that employs you is the one that's also investigating you, nobody would think that that's an impartial or fair investigation. I mean, look at, the NFL. Everyone's criticizing Roger Goodell. It took someone from the outside to bring a video of Ray Rice actually punching his wife to get some action. So on the face of it, does it appear improper? Absolutely. It's not appropriate.
Well, let me say this. Michelle and her cop boyfriend were dated for a year before she was found dead. Listen to this.
Very confident that someone like Jeff Ashton will do the right thing and give this case the look that it deserves, and answer any lingering questions, and look at all of the facts from scratch, and not just the former investigations, but he will put it together himself.
Now, my final question to you, Janet Johnson, attorney for Michelle O'Connell's family. Her cop boyfriend is on the job. He has never been charged with anything. I'm holding in my hand a lawsuit where he basically says the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, which eventually did some investigation as well, has been on a witch hunt against him. What is your reaction to his claim that essentially this is a malicious smear campaign against him?
Well, I've been a criminal defense attorney for a long time as well. If every client of mine could sue the police or FDLE when they got investigated, saying it's a witch hunt, then FDLE would be inundated with lawsuits. So, does everyone feel like it's a witch hunt when they're being investigated? Of course. I'm sure it's an uncomfortable position. But if a person is in the home, has a motive, and has been caught in contradictions, if that doesn't make you a suspect, who's going to be a suspect? Of course he would be a suspect. Any other person who wasn't law enforcement would certainly be thoroughly investigated. That's all we're asking for.